Hey, this is Tom, and unfortunately, and I do mean unfortunately, I'm not being cynical. Unfortunately, 99% of investors in the stock market right now are going to miss out on the next quantum leap of Palantir. And the reason is because they don't fully understand one simple thing, which I'll tell you in this video, which is a good thing you came here. Now look, people look at Palantir and they say to themselves, well, Tom, this stock ran up 250% since January of 2023. It's parabolic. We don't want to buy into something that just spiked parabolically. And you know what? As a long-term investor, I couldn't agree more. I totally understand. That's a great rule of thumb for any long-term investor. The problem is that rule of thumb, they're good for 99% of cases. But every once in a while, that 1% outlier happens that changes all the rules, that doesn't conform to the standard way of doing things. And just like Tesla used to be that company when it spiked, the same thing is happening right now with Palantir. And most investors, they'll join in when the stock is expensive, when it's proven, where there's no risk. I get it. They'll make their 20%, 30%. But the people who will make life-changing generational wealth money on Palantir will do it because they get it early, because they get it, they understand it before everybody else. And unfortunately, most of the people in the stock market right now, they won't. It's just a fact. Now, I could make an argument here that we just came back, that this latest parabolic spike was a correction. 2021, we were $23, $24. We just got back. I'm not going to make that argument because this isn't about price action. I couldn't care less. I don't care if the stock is 15, 25, or 55. This isn't the money. The people who will make 50% on the stock right now, it's not the interesting part. The interesting part is that journey to $500 per share. So to me, it doesn't really matter if it's now back, if it's not back, if it's going to be more pullbacks. We might go to 15 again. Very likely it happens again. So what? I don't care. I'm just going to buy more. That's not the point of this video. That's not the issue I'm trying to talk about here. I want to show you something that's completely missed by the vast majority of the investing community and why it's being done on purpose to mislead you by mainstream media and the pros. Don't believe me? Well, check this out. While you were being told stories, FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt about Palantir over the past 3 years by mainstream media, who's in cahoots with all the pros and all the sharks, you're being told stories about how bad this company is. You're being told about the dilution, about the lack of profitability, about the lack of revenue growth, about how evil this company is, etc., etc., etc. While you've been hearing all of this in mainstream media, and while the retail community shunned away from the stock and pushed it down all the way to $7 per share, you know what the pros were doing? They were buying it up like crazy. For the past 3.5 years, institutional shareholding in Palantir went up by 380%. It is quadrupled in the past 3.5 years. While you were selling, while you were being fed this nonsense garbage by mainstream media, the pros, the sharks, the institutional investors, they were buying it up like crazy for cheap. They get the retail investors, who they call sheep, by the way, to buy high and sell low, while they do the exact opposite. And the mainstream media is a tool to get the sheep in the right place. Now, I'm not going to be that sheep, and I will explain to you exactly what they don't want you to know. Because you see, Palantir is being sold to you and packaged to you by mainstream media as a company that's a 20-year-old company. It shouldn't be a startup. This company shouldn't be that weird. 20 years, where's the profits, etc., all this nonsense. Well, you see, Palantir went through a lot of changes in those 20 years. It's not the same company it used to be. Because you see that 2005 Palantir, the defense contractor, is not the same as the 2015, 2016 Palantir. And that company is nothing like the 2024 Palantir. It has morphed into something absolutely insane. Defense contractor into a commercial business, legacy, and now AIP and AI. Whole new enchilada, guys. Completely different. And I'll explain in a second. You may have seen the increase in AIP bootcamps in the pilots. 500% over the past year. You may have seen the fact that revenue growth in the United States is at 70% year over year. You may have seen the insane customer growth. All of that. But you're being told right now by mainstream media and their shills that don't make no sense because their revenue line is only growing 20%. How could it be? Well, what they know, and they're not telling you, is the fact that they understand there's a sales cycle. In SaaS, software as a business, there's a year-long sales cycle from the moment you meet that point of contact until you get that revenue. That's why you're seeing 20% growth, but 500% increase in pilots, because there's a lag. And that lag eventually will close. And when it closes, everybody will pile into the stock and it's going to be too late to get the big money. Now, look, it's not just about that. It's actually way bigger than this. I've made multiple videos explaining to you, saying, look at Palantir from a valuation standpoint, right? If this is a B2B software business, that's going to be huge, going to be massive. Can we compare it to Salesforce? Salesforce is trading at 200 billion. Palantir is at 50. So at the very least, there's still a 4x to be made from here just to the Salesforce level. If Palantir just a Salesforce, and I'm not disrespecting Salesforce, I'm saying if Palantir's ceiling is Salesforce, they're still 4x undervalued. But the crazy thing about it is that the best comparable for Palantir isn't really Salesforce. No, it is Microsoft. This is the next Microsoft. This isn't the next Salesforce. And the people who are in the big rooms, the decision makers, the sharks, and I've been in a lot of these rooms, they know and they understand. They just want more opportunity to buy this stock cheap because you see, what these guys in the big rooms, the decision makers, what they've already figured out, and most retail investors haven't, is this is the next Nvidia moment about to happen, and they don't want to miss out on it. Just like Nvidia went absolutely ballistic once people realized, oh, hold on a second, this is the new gold rush. These guys are the monopoly on the shovels. Why are we talking about P ratios and DCFs? We have to be on this. Now, I'm not disrespecting P ratios and DCFs. I'm just telling you that Nvidia is at where it's at right now, at $1.7 trillion, because people understand there's a whole new market, the booming market, endless amount of demand, and Nvidia owns that market. A very, very similar event will happen with Palantir when people actually figure it out. Now, the Palantir community figured it out a long time ago. I'm not talking about us. But the rest of the retail investors, they don't understand that. They haven't really understood that for a while. Because you see, Palantir is very, very similar to Nvidia. Nvidia is selling the hardware and the infrastructure. Palantir is the software, is the operating system. And even if Palantir has to split this market with Microsoft, which there's a good chance it will, it's still a massive ownership, a 50% ownership in this software business, in the operating system of this new gold rush. So if Nvidia is selling you shovels, imagine the guys who are selling you the maps, where to find the gold. It's just as valuable. The shovel without the map is like a map without the shovel. It's that joke about the guy who gets to heaven and there's no lighter. You know that joke. But you see what I'm talking about here? I'm not here to advocate to buy Palantir, to sell Palantir. It's not my business. I don't give stock tips and trading signals and none of this crap. I'm here to teach you how to think for yourself, to be a critical thinker. I want to stimulate your brain to go and research Palantir so you can decide for yourself. You can challenge me in the comment section. You can call me an idiot. I don't care. But I want you to think and I want you to do your own research and understand. This isn't financial advice for a reason. It isn't because I want you to be a critical, independent thinker and analyze Palantir for yourself, but understand where to look beyond the smoke screen you're getting on mainstream media. Now, if you want to get better at analyzing, at researching, not at stock tips and stock signals and buy these 5 stocks, if you want to get better at the process, good. You can do it by one of 3 ways. Number 1, you can join our academy, patreon.com/Tom Nash. We teach you how to do on DCF, how to model, how to become a better investor, how to read financials. Now, number 2, get yourself a stock MVP subscription. It's $20 per month, and you can analyze your own stocks during DCFs. Get all the information you need, not from the mainstream media, for yourself. And you can get it for 1 week for free trial for 1 week, stock-mvp.com. And finally, and that part is 100% free, join our Discord, discord.gg/Tom Nash. Join our 7,000 member community, or 4,000 just 2 weeks ago. Join us. Let's discuss. Let's exchange ideas. Let's talk. Let's come together and build the best Palantir community in the world. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.